Outstanding. I am thrilled that we today have a little bit of a change of plans due to some personal, professional conflicts. We're doing No Dump Bucket on a Thursday instead of a Friday, but we have a very, very special guest, which some angels may know, but most of you may not. Carrie Schuster, our Chief Marketing Angel, or CMA. Say hello.
Hello, Facebook Angels.
Hello,
Thrilled
Facebook
to be here today.
And
Thank
we
you,
are,
Martin.
you're very welcome at Cellar Angels Worldwide Headquarters. So Mia Kuhn, good to see you. Thanks for helping out. Hopefully you are not driving right now, but you do have a glass of wine in your hand. But we want to talk a little bit about our another good angel friend who just hopped on. Hello, Megan. Hello, Chef Megan. Big angel fan. We're going to taste Mario Bazán Cellars. Is that close enough? 2011 Cabernet Sauvignon. So now, 2011 is a vintage that was maligned by the mainstream media, and the wine press, because it was one of those vintages that was extremely cold early on, very wet early on, and when you've got cold in the spring, you just can't make up for it because at some point in time you have to pick. So there's only so much catching up you can do. However, to denigrate an entire vintage doesn't make a lot of sense because great wine was made in 2011. And most of the Napa Valley Cabernets seem to have been moving towards a fleshy, big, jammy. Reginald Polk, good to see you. Big, jammy, over-extracted. The 2011s, and we featured several of them on Cellar Angels, the 2011s have actually started to perform very, very well because great wine was made that vintage. And the Mario Bazán one is an exact example of what I'm talking about. James O'Gara, Jimmy G, what's happening? So Carrie actually wrote the tasting notes for this wine, and a little bit about Mario Bazán. Watch the video at cellarangels.com. It's an absolutely heartwarming story, just brilliant American dream about an immigrant from Oaxaca, Mexico, that actually only was intent on coming here as a young man to make enough money to go back to Mexico and open up a general store. Went to the Napa Valley and decided to start working in the vineyards and make some money to go back, and ended up staying. And he worked for some powerhouse vineyards, including
Opus One, Mondavi,
Stag's Leap. Not a good, or
yeah.
Some pretty good pedigree to cut your teeth on. He's been growing grapes, tending to vineyards for over 40 years now. So he's got his own private vineyards, and he sources fruit from some of the vineyards that he tends to, and then some of the vineyards that are of his own. So he has got his own vineyard. But this is at cellarangels.com, $65 retail, but for Cellar Angels it's $59, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. They only made 300 cases. 13.2% alcohol. It's from the foothills of Atlas Peak. And it is, I'll let Carrie talk about it because she wrote the tasting notes, but it has one of those, it's a leaner style Cabernet from 2011. It's not those plush, jammy, over-extracted fruit bombs.
Right. It comes in about 13.2% alcohol. So it's a nice, just beautiful, elegant style wine. Well, looking at the color now, being in the bottle for a few years, we have this like really, hopefully you can see Martin's glass. It's a really pretty, almost like a dark brick red with just subtle orange glints, a little more on the translucent side. Some beautiful like fresh plum, dark berry, little hints of bell pepper, and then some bakeshop spices start to pop through. Some cloves, some cinnamon. Very layered, just very, very enjoyable, and a wine that I've just spent a lot of time with, a lot of time smelling and really loving.
It's actually very refreshing, and at 13.2, I'm a big fan of that. Very old world from a standpoint of alcohol content. But also, if you want to do a comparison, the Angel bonus offer for this feature is you buy a case of the 2011, and Mario Bazán Cellars will slip out one of the 2011s and put in a 2013. The 2013 is 100% from his vineyard.
Yes, it's his estate vineyard.
His estate vineyard, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, and also the 2013 was more one of those luxurious, velvety vintages because of the extended growing season where the fruit had a much longer time to ripen. So if you were going to pair this with anything, what would you pair this with?
I mean, I think this is great. We talk a lot about Cabernet Sauvignon with going meats. So if you're doing anything, because this falls on a little bit of the leaner style of a typical traditional Napa Cabernet, you could do something like a roasted pork tenderloin or seasoned herbed lamb chop. something like that. Or if you're going to go grilled meats, maybe try a fillet, something that leans a little bit on the leaner side of the spectrum.
I like it too because the tannins are there, but they aren't overt. They aren't going crazy. And for those of you that are giving us mad props for the swirling skills, really made possible by the Bottega del Vino BV7. So it's the preferred stemware at Cellar Angels World Headquarters.
When you have a lot of glass to work with,
Yeah.
it's easier to keep it in the glass.
The swirling is fantastic. So a couple housekeeping items. As I mentioned, Mario has been making wine and harvesting vineyards for 40 years. It is, someone asked the question, if this were a celebrity, who would it be? That's a stumper on a Thursday afternoon. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite celebrities from a wine comparison would be like a Sophia Loren, to where it's elegant on the outside, sophisticated, classy, and it's someone that you want to sit down and get to know versus all flash. So that's my that's what you have it here. Due to popular demand, we kept the charity Hurricane Relief on the website. It's because they are in dire need of assistance. So someone today actually purchased, I think, 13 different gift cards and selected Hurricane Relief for every single one. So please feel free to buy as much wine as you would like. Gift cards are always available. And we really can't do this without your support. So thanks so much for everyone. Carrie, thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Facebook Angels.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Never gets tired of hearing Crystal. Thanks, everyone. Be good to one another.
Cheers. Salud.